Well, the dog park has officially opened and winter is here. What are we going to do with our pets during the wintertime? With me today, Animal Control Officer Cindy Sherman. Cindy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So let's talk dog park first. I
Okay.
was just there this past weekend.
isn't it great?
Super fun, tons. Who knew there were so many dogs?
Right. And it's hysterical. It's one of my favorite things to do each day is to stop and visit the dog park. I have such a hard time dragging myself out of there. Some days, you can barely find any dogs in there, and they're like, where's everybody else? And then other days, it's so full, and they're just so full of energy and so fun.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful spot for this dog park. We actually took our dogs for a quick walk on leash around Hathaway's Pond, which was really nice, trying to acclimate them to the area a little bit.
Sure.
And then headed into the dog park. And again, the separation of the larger dogs to the smaller dogs really makes people feel comfortable.
Definitely. I think it makes a huge difference. Some people are, like you said, they're just not comfortable, bringing their smaller dogs in with some of these larger dogs. And to be quite honest with you, sometimes some of the larger dogs are not comfortable with some of these little ones that, are coming at them. But, for the most part, though, I think everybody is just, being really good about, etiquette and whatnot. And, we just really encourage to make sure everyone's wearing their tags when they come in, their licenses, and, just all about having fun and just following the regulations and being safe, for everyone.
Right. They can find the regulations on the Town of Barnstable's website, townofbarnstable.us. It lists exactly what should happen in the dog park.
Yep.
One of the things that we should probably mention is that the water, because of winter, has now been shut off.
The water is now shut off. I have noticed people bringing in their own water. The dishes are still there, the bowls are still there. I noticed the other day someone had brought in one of those, big pull and spring jugs. And, there's water available. You can bring your own water, but the water is shut off for the winter.
Okay. Anything else you want folks to know about the dog park and its first month being open?
Oh,
It's wonderful.
It's great. Yeah, just, enjoy and be safe and make sure you're paying attention to, your pets. Make sure you're paying attention to your dog. And, the only, biggest concern we have is children and license and rabies.
Right.
Those, we need to make sure for everyone's safety that all dogs are, vaccinated and licensed, and, children, 10 and under, just really, it's not a safe place for them, especially when the park is full.
Right,
Yeah,
right, and it can be. I mean, when we were there this past weekend, there had to have been probably 15 dogs in the big dog area, and there was a good 10 little guys in our area, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really is. It is. I'm so glad to see everyone enjoying it.
And let's talk just a little bit about winter safety. So kind of a two-pronged question for you. First is, some holiday tips. The trees are going up, presents are going under the trees. What should people really be cognizant about at this time of year?
So, like you said, the trees are going up. A huge thing is wires. Especially cats. You've got cats and dogs chewing on wires. Make sure that, you've got those wires tucked away safely. Make sure that, they're not strung across where the animals can trip and pull the tree down. And, believe it or not, I actually have had squirrels coming in on the trees.
Wow.
You make sure you check your trees before you bring your trees in. I know it sounds silly, but it is.
Right.
But, big thing though, those pads, the dog's pads, make sure that you're wiping their pads down, even when you go to the dog park, but especially when you're on salted roads and sidewalks and, if your driveway, anything like that, make sure you wipe them down before they come in so they're not licking and, getting any kind of toxins or just sores.
Right.
So.
And dogs outside at this time of year, as the weather starts to get a lot colder.
Yes.
What's the rule of thumb for maybe like the size of the dog or the fur that is on the dog?
Well, obviously a smaller dog is going to get colder a lot quicker. Their body temperature is just not, just like an infant, it's going to get, cold a lot quicker than a larger dog. And, obviously some dogs are built for the winter. Some of your huskies and thicker coated friends, like the winter a lot more than others. if your dog's got, short hair, short fur, thin coats, might even want to put a sweater on them. And definitely, don't let them stay outside too long. And, winter advisories, don't leave them out there at all.
Right.
You
And
know.
then the last thing I want to touch on, because this is, we had an Australian Shepherd over the years that was a counter surfer.
Okay.
So, holiday goods and things like that.
Absolutely.
What's some of the precautions people can take with food?
Food is a big one. We've got a lot of dog bites this time of year, and a lot of them are food related. Make sure your food's not at the edge of the counters where the dog's going to jump up. Make sure you put it away, you cover it. And, just be careful when you try to stop the dog, too. A lot of times they don't know any better. They're going for that food, and you stick your hand in there to grab that food away from them. There is potential for getting bit. So make sure your food's up high, on the back side of the counters. A lot of times I even recommend, keeping the dogs out of the kitchen when you got your cooking and all the commotion going on.
Right. And
So-
one of the things I always caution people, because we learned by mistake, is don't put food under the tree.
Oh
Wrapped.
gosh, no, absolutely not. That
They
is
will unwrap the present.
Oh, absolutely they will, So, do not, definitely, whether you wrap it or, it's in a box, they smell it, they'll find it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And chocolate is really toxic to dogs.
absolutely.
So boxes of chocolate and things like that are really
Absolutely.
dangerous.
Be very careful about that. Yeah, don't leave box of chocolates lying around anywhere.
Excellent.
Dishes or boxes, watch the candies.
Right. Anything else you want folks to know about the season?
Just enjoy and have fun, and just, make sure you're paying attention to where your pets are and what they're doing.
Excellent. Thanks so much,
All
Cindy.
right, thank you.